conversation with a special guest. Their name is
Hi, my name is Anna Santos. Nice to meet everyone.
Smooth, Smooth, Smooth. It's actually interesting because I met Anna at a Mass Bay Community College. Yes, community college. That's where I started from. And it's interesting because me and Anna are actually rising graduates at UMass Boston. So, we'll have another episode where we could chop it up on our behalf on previous schooling at you know Mass Bay Community College. But today we're going to talk about the rising steps of Anna becoming a behavioral analyst. So, Anna, what is the role of behavioral analyst and its importance?
Okay, so the role of a behavioral technician usually lies on implementing plans developed by a BCBA. A BCBA is a board certified behavioral analyst. Right now, I work as an RBT and I am going to work on a master's in behavioral analysis. Is it analysis? All right. If I botch that word, that's fine too, because we're still
Okay, no
learning.
problem.
And along with that, behavioral technicians are also responsible for assisting clients, students, or patients with day to day activities, ranging from teaching how to brush your teeth or tie your shoes to the development of a social story with your BCBA. And a social story typically just tends on working on targeting a specific behavior that's considered undesirable. So we just want to get rid of that. We also collect and record data and we compare it to the baseline. A baseline is just a fancy word that means that it's just the behavior that was noted prior to taking into consideration an IEP or a behavioral plan. And for those, we just use that as insight in what we can do better in order to increase a person um, or individual's independence. And the importance is that you're responsible for their daily lives. So you're just there to aid them with the execution of the same, which can consist of modeling or shaping a behavior that you want to see in that person.
Okay, okay. And then how does this play a role in your purpose? I feel like a lot of us out here, some people don't know their purpose or they're working towards their purpose. But how did this spark and like how did you find your purpose into you being a behavioral analyst technician?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, I definitely think it's very hard to find your purpose, especially now that everything's like so saturated and there's just so many options. I feel like it can be confusing at times. But for me, I always wanted to have an impact on someone's lives and to see myself to help someone grow and just be that like support. So I feel like this job definitely gives me that because if I do a good job to my end, I'm able to support them grow and
Mm-hmm.
increase their independence, which at the end of the day is what we all want as individuals, just to have that independence and be able to advocate for ourselves.
Hmm. I believe that's important as well because I feel as if that as individuals grow, we tend to, let's say, focus on our own being, our own well-being, our own families. But I feel as if that if we look on a community aspect, if everybody has this same way that they treat their kids, that same type of love, we're able to kind of prosper together. So it's good to see that you want to help other people, the same work that I'm trying to do. So hopefully others out there, can get the program. But what are some necessary tools that are needed to prosper into the field that you're working in right now?
I would say that good communication skills, just because not only are you interacting with an individual that could be on the spectrum or not, you can also be dealing with their parents or the staff of the place that you work with, along with many other people that have access to the person that you're working with. So, definitely having clear communication with them and ability to adapt. Typically, there are some challenging behaviors that some might consider, so being able to see the bright side and to understand that you have to be patient, but also taking into consideration that a kid's not engaging in aggression because they want to hurt you, but they just are engaging in aggression because they want to tell you something or they want to show you something. So just being patient and trying to understand what's actually going on instead of just getting upset over that situation, and time management skills. Sometimes you're working with multiple clients, sometimes you have to talk to your BCBA, you're implementing token chart systems, you have breaks. So just having a sense of that also helps.
I really, you spin facts to it. Time management skills is something that I believe that we're all working on. No one's perfect, but I feel as if that as we are trying to work towards getting into our professional bag or a professional suit, we really have to, come correct. So we have to be getting to work on time. So if you are expected to be at work at 8 o'clock, you should be outside your job at like at least 7:50, 10 minutes before that. So just making sure that we're developing better skill sets to be the better us. Um, what are some jobs that helped you improve your abilities? Because you said communication skills. So I don't know if you're an extrovert or introvert. I don't know how you would put yourself on the spectrum, but how can we better our communication skills? And what are some jobs that you maybe that you had that helped you improve your skill sets?
I feel like I am very grateful for all the jobs that I've had. Like I've worked at Starbucks, I've worked at I don't know, like coffee shops, that I've worked at like dry cleaning places, and all of those helped me develop the person that I am, and like my patience with customer service and like having to engage with other people. So definitely just grateful for all the opportunities I have. They've all led me to where I am right now. So I feel like all the jobs definitely helped me.
Okay. Me, I would say, communication skills just tying into that. I worked at I worked at Stop and Shop, a little grocery store. Shout out, shout out. It was interesting, but long story short, it broke me out of my comfort zone. So you're forced to interact with people. So I feel as if you are a person that has a tough time, developing conversations and breaking the ice, that's a good job to start right there. It's a little entry job right there. But Anna, what experiences have you had that helped you positively, within resilience on working in this field or in general, to keep you going? Because I feel as if you know, we have our days where it's rough and it's like we don't want to go to work. We stress, we tired, we have our own issues going on, and we have our good days where it's like it's rewarding. You know what I mean? But we want days like that where it's like it's rewarding. So what is the resilience that led you to keep doing the work that you're doing, and any experiences that you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, like I'm really grateful, and just putting that forward, I tend to step like positive every single day, try to get in that positive mindset. I'll be in the car like jamming before I get to work. That
Word.
definitely puts me in my mindset to be happy. Um, Doing all of that. And like for the days that I really feel down, I try to concentrate on the work that I have put and the progress that I have seen. Like I have in my back of my mind, like my clients being able to execute a dance they've been working on for like quite some time, being able like to tie their first pair of shoelaces, which was like a really big deal for them. And just having that in my mind makes it 100% worthwhile. I'm not saying that there aren't days that I'm definitely frustrated at work, because that happens to everyone. But when I do feel that way, I'm just like, hey, can you cover me for a second? I just need to take a deep breath. I just need a little break before I go on. Because I know that if I'm not giving my 100%, then that person that I'm working with is definitely not achieving their 100% either.
Okay. And then working with staffs, do you find yourself how was that environment for you? Working with staff and relations on that end.
I love my job. I know.
Mm-hmm.
If you know who you are, then I work with you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
You are all awesome. They definitely made me feel like I'm a part of their family. They are open to having an open line of communication with me. They're open to helping me. They're always there to put me up. And I feel like a staff definitely should be that for you, because it's not worthwhile if you love what you do, but people around you are always putting you down. So just a big shout out to everyone I work with. You are all awesome, and thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wasn't trying to put nobody on the chopping board, nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to. I just want to get kind of a little perspective of the staff and the environment of which we work in. But I feel as if that we have people that are in our fields that do want to serve and do want to help, and we have people that are just here because they're just trying to get a check. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? Just people just trying to get what they need to do to get by. But I feel as if that when we come with a purpose and we come with initial drive to help and serve, it just changes the whole trajectory. You know what I mean? On a positive level. So I just definitely believe that we should have positive attributes to help us move and keep the drive going. So everybody's on the same page. But just a quick self awareness check. you know, as a student, as a worker as well, full time, part time. I don't know what you're doing. Um, but what are some, can you share some your positive routines or some things that you do in your day to keep your self care together?
Yeah, I feel like a big one for me right now is trying to have some time just for myself. I feel like having to work full time, having to be a full time student on top of that is definitely a burnout waiting to happen. But just trying to take care of myself, trying to like eat well. I feel like right now, not a lot of people do that, like sleep well. That's definitely helpful. I feel like many times when you're like, especially a teenager, you skip on sleeping, which PSA you shouldn't do. Your body will not be happy with you. And just like trying to separate work from like time, like weekends. I will not touch anything that's related to work unless it's an emergency and I really need to get that done.
Okay. Some positive attributes that I can add to our discussion would be, as many people know that the beach location is my location. You know what I mean? Like I love the water, just clearing my mind, out to meditation stuff. But also too, um, just kind of knowing how to prioritize my life because as you said, like being a full-time student, we're working trying to get this money to pay these bills, like, you know what I mean, and then we have our spare time to do what I'm doing right now, to uplift, and we helping. But yeah, so it's like I realized too, like I have to make sure that I take care of myself so I can perform the best and be, give the phenomenal Anthony that I need to, you know what I mean, bring to y'all. But I feel like on the weekends, like as you mentioned, it's nice to kind of have your time for your family time and kind of budget these things because it's just like there's a time and a place for certain things. But on a note, is there anything that you want to add, Anna?
I'm just really grateful for you asking me to be a part of this. I think it's really wonderful that you're taking the initiative. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna add in a quote. I appreciate that, Anna. And we on. You feel me? So basically, why is mental health important? Mental health is important because it can help you to cope with the stressness of life, be physically healthy, have good relationships, make meaningful contributions to your community, work productively, realize your full potential. Your mental health is also important because it can affect your physical health. For example, mental disorders can raise your risk for physical health problems such as stroke, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. This was information from a government website called Medline Plus. So I just want everybody to know out there that they please take care of your mental health. It's serious. This ain't nothing to play with. Like your life is important. Everybody needs to value that. But it was a pleasure having Anna within her conversation in regards to her taking her rising steps to become a behavior analyst technician. You feel me? But appreciate it. Any last words? We said.
Just like I said, thank you. It was awesome just to be a part of it. And just a shout out to whoever's listening. Thanks again.
Just let